and this is my YouTube channel, and this is another live video. It's so nice to be on live again. Um, there's just something I want to share today, a little discussion, and it's about discouragement. Okay, a lot of people are going through a tough time, myself included, and it's so easy to be discouraged when you go through hard times, when you go through tough times, especially when you feel like you don't know when better days are going to come, especially when you feel like you don't have help or the kind of support that you need. It's easy to be discouraged, right? Also, in situations where probably you and someone else, both of you were going through a tough time, and then things got better for that person and it didn't get better for you. It's easy to be discouraged when you don't feel like you have any hope, when you cannot picture a brighter future for yourself. It's easy to be discouraged. But I'm here to tell you why you should not be discouraged. And I'm here to give you reasons why you should not be discouraged. As long as you are alive, there's hope. As long as you wake up every morning, as long as God gives you breath every morning, there's hope. Okay, and you things will definitely get better. So do not be discouraged. Excuse me. Now, for someone who has faced discouragement, for someone who has experienced discouragement firsthand, I know what it's like to be in a dark place and not know when you would come out of that dark place. I know what it's like for everything to be working against you and you feel like you don't know where to turn or you don't have any hope. For me personally, I'm a Christian, and a lot of my beliefs, a lot of my values are rooted in Jesus Christ, right? I cannot separate myself from my beliefs from Jesus. I can't. So, and most of the morals that we have come from um, Christianity, right? Come from my religious belief. Yes, so I cannot separate the two. So, if you're not a Christian or you don't believe in Jesus, well, I don't know. There are still so many valuable things that you can take away from this message. Anyways, now, firstly, when I was going through a tough time, one of the major things I did was to hold on to God, right? Was to hold on to Jesus. It was to trust God, and it was to know and um, connect with God on a deeper level and think about what is God saying to me concerning this season. Okay, there's someone on the live. Hi, welcome to the live. Nice to have you here. So I wanted to know, what is God saying concerning this season? Okay, is this pronounced Aisha or Aisha or I? I'm so sorry, I don't really know how to pronounce this. Aisha. John Manasseh said Jetta. Hi, John. I think I've seen you on my live before. And nice to have you here again. You are welcome to the live. I hope you've been well. I hope you've been great. I hope you've been doing well. I hope that you're having a great weekend. And yeah, okay. That's nice. Thanks for being here. So today we're talking about discouragement. Okay. I'm just trying to discuss why we should not be discouraged and reasons why it's important that we still have hope, reasons why it's important that we still hold on. Because I understand that lately, because of the economy, because of a lot of things that are going on, people tend to get discouraged easily. People tend to want to give up, especially when they have been trying something for a while and it's not working out the way that they think it should work out. And the thing is that sometimes what we think is not really what it is. What we feel like should be happening for us is not really what should be happening for us. But we just feel that way, we just think that way, which is why one of the first points that I wanted to make was that it's important that we communicate with God so that we understand His will for our lives, so we understand what our purpose here on earth is, so we can understand more what we should be doing and where we should be going. Sometimes we are on the right path, that's why that thing is not working for us. Sometimes we are moving faster than we should, or we are moving slower than we should, which is why that particular thing is okay. There's a lot of people on the live, so let me just say hi. Hi, Abraham. Nice to have you here. Thank you for joining the live. Thank you everyone for being here. So moving on. I have a lot to say. I'm just trying to see how I can, say it properly, step by step, in such a way that everyone can be able to understand, the points that I'm trying to make. But this is something that I've experienced. Okay, so I want to share my experience. I also want to encourage other people, because God is so good and God is so wonderful. His ways are not our ways. Sometimes we misunderstand timing, we misunderstand His will for our lives. That's why we get stuck. And everybody goes through trials, everybody goes through hard times, everybody goes through difficult moments. Okay, it may not feel like things are working out for you now, but that's just because it's not yet time. Okay, sometimes we just need to be a little more patient. And the thing is that people give up most times at the edge of their breakthrough. People give up most times when it's almost time for them to accomplish that thing that they are supposed to accomplish. So if you actually give up, it's your loss. Okay, there's no one that is successful that will tell you that it was easy for them. Not one single person that is successful that will tell you that, oh, it was so easy for them to be successful, or they didn't have to go through a tough time. Everybody goes through a tough time. Okay, it's like in a competition, in a race. The award belongs to the person that was able to that's able to persevere. Okay, the person that was able to stay longer, the person that was able to keep moving on despite when they were tired, despite when they wanted to give up. Okay, the competition doesn't belong to the award, doesn't belong to you just because you tried. If you try, like, that's is great that you tried, but the award doesn't go to everybody that tries. The award goes to the person that persevered the most. The award goes to the person that worked hard the most. The award goes to the person that stayed the course, even when they were tired, even when they wanted to give up, they still stayed. So just the mere fact that you tried is not enough reason for you to get the award. There are billions of people in the world. Everybody is trying their best daily. Okay, but the award cannot go to you just because you tried. You have to persevere, you have to be committed, you have to be consistent, you have to stay. Even when you feel like giving up, you still have to stay. Okay, like, competition now is quite tough, and everybody's going through a tough time. Okay, not everybody that is going through a tough time, but for those that want to be successful, for those that are working towards a dream, a purpose, a goal, they will tell you that it's not easy. Perseverance is just one of the skills that you need to have on your way to success. You must persevere. It's when anybody that is telling you that it's easy to be successful, they're telling you that, oh, it's an easy journey. They are lying to you. They are lying to you. Anybody that wants to be successful, or anybody that has been successful, anybody that has started something and accomplished that thing, will tell you that it's not always easy. Sometimes you face adversity. Okay, sometimes your adversary is even yourself, because you can say bad things to yourself. You can doubt yourself that, oh, can I really do this? Can I really accomplish this thing? Am I wasting my time? Am I wasting resources? Right, am I really going to get to where? Sometimes you can be the one talking bad about yourself. Sometimes you can be the one doubting yourself. And it happens. It's kind of, I won't say it's normal, but it happens. Because there's certain times that you're working on a project, you're working towards something, and you start to feel like everything is not going the way you thought they should go. There's something I said before, that if you're working towards something or you want to achieve something, you should know that that thing is going to be 10 times harder than you thought it would be. Basically, sometimes it's not that something is too hard, it's just that we underestimated what it will take to accomplish that thing, which is fact. I've seen a lot of people do that. We underestimate the time and effort needed to accomplish a certain thing. We underestimate how difficult. I mean, if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. If it was easy, everybody would be rich. If it was easy, everybody would be successful. Everybody would have a multi-million dollar company. If it was that easy, everybody would have done it. Okay? If it was so easy, everybody would have accomplished something. If it was so easy, everybody would be doing things, or everybody would make an impact. But the fact that a lot of people are not doing it should let you know that it's not easy. If it was that, everybody wants to be successful, everybody wants to be like famous, everybody wants to be the one that makes impact, everybody wants to be the breadwinner in their family. So if it was that easy, everybody would be doing it. But just the mere fact that you want something is not enough reason for you to get it, because billions of people want that same thing. Billions of people are working towards that same thing. But what separates the people that actually get that thing from the people that don't get it? There's something that they say that the intention matters. Intention matters quite all right, but you have to back up your intention with action. You cannot say, oh, I want this thing, and then you don't work hard towards getting that thing. You don't put all your efforts towards getting that thing. So how do you get it? It's not enough that you want that thing. Okay, what you want, what you desire, like your faith has, even in the Bible, it says that faith without works is dead. Meaning that as long as you have faith that you're going to get this thing, and you want this thing, you desire this thing, you have to back up that. Okay, I don't know what happened, but I had a bit of network issue. Okay, I'm just going to give it a little time to be sure that I'm back online. Okay, I think I'm back online, so I'm just going to go ahead with the discussion. Okay, I've seen someone has joined the live, so I think I connected again. I think the network is working fine now. So yeah, as I was saying, it's not enough that you want that thing. You have to back it up with actions, right? You wake up in the morning, you have a goal that you're working towards, you have a dream, you have a vision. But when you wake up in the morning, what you do that day does not go in line with what you said you want to achieve. Okay, there's something that someone said that if an outsider is watching you, if someone that doesn't know you is watching you, if your life were to be like a reality TV show, people that are watching you, would they be aware that you are working towards a goal? Like if your life in a day was to be displayed like on TV, can people see that you are working really hard towards a certain goal? Can they see that you are giving your all towards that thing that you want to achieve? Like just imagine like a group of people that don't know you, they are watching all your activities in a day, even without being told. Can they tell that okay, this person is committed towards their goals, this person is disciplined, this person is, they are really working hard towards their goals, and I can see them making efforts for this thing that they want to accomplish. Okay, like an outsider, when they see you, can they say that? Can they tell by seeing your actions, by seeing the things that you do, by seeing what you do, how you do it, by seeing how disciplined and committed that you are? Some of us will say, okay, we are working towards a certain goal, but in a week, we will not even do anything that pertains towards that goal. We will not do anything that moves us closer towards achieving that thing. But if anybody asks us, we're going to say, I'm working towards my goal, I'm working towards my dream. So, I'm trying to get the bag, I'm trying to start a company. That's what we say. But in a week, we don't do anything that moves us closer towards accomplishing that. Everything is easy to say. That's the honest truth. It's easy to sit down and desire a big house, desire a big company, desire to travel abroad, it's easy to desire things. It's easy to think up things in our head. It's easy to imagine. It's easy to like come up with things. But the action that's the hard part. Okay, it's easy to have ideas. Everybody has ideas. If like people that do all this like shows, programs that they want to sponsor or fund ideas, or they say, write about your idea or submit it to us and then we'll fund it for you. You see millions of people. Everybody has an idea. Like you'll be surprised how smart people really are. Everybody has an idea, but the gap, the bridge comes in the action. That's where the bridge comes in. That's where there starts to be a decline. If you look at the amount of people that have ideas and the amount of people that are working towards the ideas, there's a gap. The numbers will not be the same because that's where the hard work comes in. And sometimes when I listen to some people's ideas, when I listen to their visions, their goals, they are really great ideas, right? But I know that these things will not be accomplished easily. I know that this thing is going to take a lot of time, a lot of this. So when I see some people talk about their ideas and what they want, I feel like they don't know how much it will take to accomplish this thing that they want to accomplish. Everything is easier it's easier in theory, but it's not so easy in practical. Like a small thing that you can say you want to accomplish can take you 2 years, just a very tiny, minute thing. It can take you 2 years. That's how difficult it can be sometimes. And some of us, we don't realize that our ideas are like a 20-year plan. We think it's something we can do in 3 years, but that's not the reality. The reality is that this thing that you want to accomplish, it has never been done before. It's something that is so big. It's something that can change lives. It's something that can, change the way humanity works. It's something that is like such a big accomplishment. It's not a 2-year plan. It's not a 3-year plan. It's a 20-year plan. It's possible, yes, very possible. And if it's something that you were to do, it could change your life, change the life of your generation. It could change the society. It could change the earth as a whole. but it's not a 3 year plan, it's a 20-year plan. Now the question is, are you willing to stay on the course? Are you willing to stay on this idea for a long period of time? Are you willing to sit down until this thing is brought to life? Are you willing to go the extra mile? Are you willing to persevere? Are you willing to be committed to be this? Even when people are telling you that this thing is not going to work, are you still willing to give it your best shot? Even when people are telling you that you've been on this thing for 5 years or it's not working, are you willing to say, I know this thing is going to work? I see it in my dreams. I feel it in my spirit. My spirit man knows that this thing is going to work. I am 100% sure. Even when people are discouraging you, even when people are like saying bad things, trying to talk you down, are you willing to still stay on course and see to it that this your idea is brought to life, and see to it that you change humanity, and see to it that your generations to come are going to be thankful to you? Are you willing to stay? That's the question. It's not a matter of, oh, are my dreams valid? Are they good? The question is, are you willing to pay the price? That's the question. Are you willing to stay? Are you willing to give it your best shot? Or the first time that you face a challenge, you're the type of person that you will just give up? Is that you? So it's not always about having an idea. I think the bigger question is, are you willing to see this idea come to life? Can you stay on an idea for 20 years? I feel like some of us don't even read history, because if we read history a lot, you will see that a lot of successful people, they did not become successful overnight. There are even some successful people that we know today that it was after they died that we began to even appreciate their works. It was after they were no more or in their really old age that we began to recognize them, that we began to see that, wow, they have such a meaningful contribution to humanity. They have done things that no one else has done. This thing that they invented, their ideas are groundbreaking. So are you willing to stay that long on your dreams, on your goals, or on your desire? Are you willing to give it your best shot? I think that's the question. It's not a matter of, oh, are your ideas valid, are your dreams? They are valid, but just that, are you willing to pay the price for what it takes to see your idea come to life? I think that's the bigger question. I feel like people get discouraged too easily. I feel like sometimes people give up too easily. Adversity is part of it. Opposition is part of it. If you think that your dreams are going to, come to life without you facing some sort of challenges, then obviously you are not ready. That's the truth. If you feel like your dreams are going to like manifest without you going through hard times, without you going through tough times, then I don't think you know the weight of what you carry. I don't think you know the weight of what you are trying to accomplish. Because like I said earlier, if it were that easy, everybody would do it. If it were that simple, everybody would do it. Okay, so you should know that this thing that has never done before, this thing that seems difficult, it's actually difficult. That's the truth. No need to sugarcoat it, because it's going to require everything from you. There are certain dreams that will require a part of you, right? And there are other dreams that require all of you. They require your time, your effort, your money, your resources. They may even require your happiness. Like I feel like coaches, some gurus, some mentors, when they talk about what it takes to accomplish certain things, they try to sugarcoat it, they try to paint it, they try to make it look easy. I don't know whether it's to draw people closer or it's to make people want to, I don't know, maybe buy their course or look up. I really don't know the reason. But sometimes they make it look easier than it actually is. They paint too much to look glamorous. So when people go on that journey to work on their goals, and they realize that it's harder than my coach, my mentor told me that it should be, they feel like they're doing something wrong. They feel like they missed it. They feel like something is wrong with them. They feel like they should give up, right? Because it's harder than they thought it should be. So sometimes your orientation is wrong. Sometimes the mindset is wrong. Okay, there's someone here on my live. Hi, Matty. Thank you for joining the live. It's nice to have you here. I think I've seen you on one of my lives before, but it's so good to see you again. It's so nice to have you here again. Thank you for joining the live. Thank you for being here. You are you are highly appreciated as always. I always appreciate everyone who joins my live, because I know that you're giving me a part of your time. Like the time that you could have used to do something else, you are giving it to me. So I definitely always appreciate everyone that tunes in on while I'm on live, right? So yeah, like I was saying, um, so sometimes we have the wrong orientation. Sometimes we have the wrong mindset, right? Because it's not as easy as we thought it should be. We have the wrong approach, we have the wrong orientation about what it takes to accomplish our goals. And my one major advice is that we should read more books. I don't like watching videos is cool, right? Watching videos is nice, but there's something about reading. Okay, there's really something about reading. The thing about reading is that when you watch a video, the person explaining to you tells you the way it is, face value, right? The person explaining to you tells you how it is, like they write out the words, they say the words for you to hear, right? And you process what you hear, you take it as face value, right? But when you read a book, the book forces you to read it, then visualize it. I don't know if you understand. So when you read a book, you read what is being written and then you interpret it in your own way. So me and you can read the same book, but we understand it in different ways. Me and you can read the same book, but we interpret it in the way that we both can understand it in our own different ways. We personalize the book. That's what I'm trying to say. So when you read a book, it forces you to open the windows of your understanding. It forces you to increase your comprehension skills. When you read a book, it forces you to just open your mind so you can understand it in the way that you should. Okay. So I always advise reading. That's me. I always advise reading because when you read, it improves your comprehension skills. When you read, you understand more. So I always advise read a book. Okay, whatever it is that you're working towards, whatever career path that you find yourself, whatever goal that you're trying to accomplish, someone else has gone that line before you. Even though they've not necessarily done that exact thing that you want to do, but they've been on that same path. Okay, right? So you can definitely find a book about that goal that you want to accomplish, about that career that you want to be in, about that business that you want to start. You can definitely find a book surrounding that. And sometimes general knowledge is also good. There are some people that they are in a different field from you, but they have so much knowledge about starting things. They have so much knowledge about working towards your goals. They have so much knowledge about staying on course, not being discouraged. Okay, they have so much knowledge about what it takes to bring your ideas to life. Okay, so you can definitely read those type of books and be impacted by them. Reading is such a great thing. I've not been reading so much recently because I feel like I've read a lot and I have not practicalized what I have read. Now this is a major issue. Some of us are so stuck in getting information. It's kind of like information overload, information overdose. We take in so much information and we are not able to use this information properly. It's like consuming without creating. You cannot keep consuming. There's a way you would consume that your mind will not be able to assimilate anything more because you've consumed more than what you are giving out. Okay, so when you are consuming, as much as you are consuming, also make sure that you are making efforts to create, not just taking intake. I got to a point where I could no longer assimilate anything more. I could no longer take in anything more. I could no longer read another motivational book basically because I had read enough without practicalizing anything. There's someone on the live. Adrian, hi Adrian, welcome to the live. Nice to see you here. He said, "Good day to you. I hope your day is blessed and prosperous." Yes, actually, I'm having an amazing day. My day is definitely blessed. My day is definitely prosperous. I hope you're also having a good day. I hope you're also having a great day. Um, I hope you had a great week as well. It's weekend now, but I hope you had a great week. I hope you're doing well. I hope everything is okay with you, basically. So let me just give you a rundown of what I'm talking about today. Today, I'm just talking about not being discouraged, and I'm trying to give some certain reasons and examples of why people get discouraged when you're working towards your dreams, when you're working towards your goals, when you're working towards accomplishing something. One of the things that I said is that we underestimate what it takes to actually accomplish certain goals, certain visions that we have. Sometimes we think it's going to take 2 years, but in reality it's going to take about 10 years, right? So sometimes we get discouraged because what we had estimated, the time, effort, resources, what we estimated too low than what it would actually take. So that's one of the reasons why we get discouraged. Another reason we get discouraged is because of our mindset, right? It's because of our orientation about what achieving a goal takes. Okay, so by the time it's not working out the way that we thought, the way that we envisioned, the way we were told it to work out, we start to get discouraged. That's one of the reasons why we also get discouraged when we are trying to accomplish a goal. And again, another reason we get discouraged while trying to accomplish our goals is because sometimes we lack self-esteem. That's for you to accomplish certain goals. Now, I'm not talking about little goals like, okay, maybe I want to graduate, I want to, buy a car. I'm talking about big goals that could like impact your generations to come, that could like change society, like big goals. And when I say big goals, I mean things that are bigger than you. I'm talking about like your life's purpose, like your life's work. We're not here on earth just to eat, make friends, have a good time, and die. No, we're here on earth for much more than that. Okay, so in accomplishing our life goals, our life's purpose, self-esteem is actually very important. If you have low self-esteem, you might struggle, right? Because adversity will come. And people can be really mean, people can be really vile, okay? Adversity will come. And if you don't have confidence, if you're not brave, if you don't have confidence, if you don't have a high level of self-esteem, you might tend to give up easily, okay? Because anything anybody says can easily get to you. Someone can talk about your appearance and you can get discouraged. Someone can talk about, something about your family. Someone can say any negative thing. Someone can manufacture anything from anywhere and you would get discouraged. Another thing when accomplishing your goals is that you might have all eyes on you. Exactly, Adrian. You can't have fear because if you are fearful, you can't accomplish anything. If you are too scared, the first time you see like an opposition, the first time you face a challenge, you want to go back. The first time you face a challenge or something difficult, you want to give up. So I think it's sometimes we underestimate how brave we need to be. We underestimate how much faith we need to have. We underestimate how much we need to get rid of fear. We need to get rid of anxiety. I think anxiety is such a big deal because sometimes you get nervous unnecessarily, right? And some of these things are rooted in childhood trauma, which is why when you become an adult, right? I hope I'm not talking too fast. When you become an adult, you really need to deal with everything that troubled you in your childhood. When you become an adult, I think it's necessary that we deal with everything that we struggled with when we were much younger. Now, when you are a child, you are basically a reflection of your environment and your parents. Your environment raises you, your parents raise you, right? And whatever trauma your parents have, most often time they will pass it down to you. Whatever trauma is happening in your environment, most often time you become a victim of that environment, right? That's what it means to be a child. When you are a child, you cannot stand on your own. When you are a child, you don't have a mind of your own. When you are a child, you don't know so much, right? So you become a product of your environment. Now, there are many people that grew up in toxic environments. There are many people that had toxic parents. There are many people that grew up in bad environments, environments that no child should be raised in, okay? So you become a victim of so many things, right? Now, when you get older, it becomes your duty, your responsibility. You are now an adult, right? You now know wrong from right. You now know good and bad, okay? You now have the power of choice. When you become an adult, and I'm speaking 25 years and above, when you become an adult, it is now your responsibility to unlearn everything that you learned, right? Everything that is not beneficial to you, every trauma that you had that got attached to. It is now your responsibility to unlearn, to let go, to rebrand yourself, to become new. It is now your responsibility to heal yourself from every of your childhood trauma. When you are younger, like when you are a teenager, when you're in your early 20s, you can blame whatever it is, like your bad habits, anything that you do, you can blame it on your childhood trauma. But you get to a certain age that is no longer acceptable. You get to a certain age that you are now your responsibility, right? You get to a certain age that if you did not have like good and stable parents, it is now your responsibility to parent yourself, right? You get to a certain age that it is now like your responsibility So you can no longer blame everything that you do on your past, right? Because you get a certain age where it is expected that you unlearn everything good that you had learned before. You retrain yourself. That's the word. Like you retrain yourself and you start to heal from your childhood trauma, right? So if you have low self-esteem based on how you were raised, it is your duty to improve your self-esteem. If you had certain bad habits like anger, right, you became a violent person because of how you were raised, it is your responsibility to let go of that, right? You cannot sit down and wait for some magical savior to come and say nobody's coming to save you. I tell people sometimes that all you really have is you and your God. If you're waiting for a friend to come and save you, or you're waiting for your partner to save you, you might be waiting in vain, right? And at the end of the day, nobody wants to take on another person, because the truth is that if another person tries to save you, in the process they might get broken, because it takes a lot to save another person. We are not the savior. Jesus has died for everybody's sins. Jesus is the savior, right? No human being can be your savior, right? So in the process of that person trying to save you, in turn they get broken. They get broken in the process, right? So I don't advise anyone to try and save another person. At the same time, I don't advise anyone to sit down and wait to be saved. I advise people to work on themselves, work on healing yourself, work on becoming a better version of yourself. Okay, the version of yourself that you would have looked up to, that you would have liked to have. Work on becoming that person. You can do it. You are capable of much more than you think you are capable of. So you get to a certain age, it is your duty to unlearn every other thing that you have learned. Okay, it's your duty to become much more than you were told that you could become. Whatever limitation that you had as a child, as an adult, you no longer have those limitations. Like I always say, all limitations are self-imposed. Any limitation that you think that you have is a limitation that you put on yourself. And if you think other people have put a limitation on you, it is because you accepted that limitation. Again, there's a saying that nobody can make you angry without your consent. Nobody can piss you off without your consent. If someone says something hurtful to you, that thing is only hurtful because you accepted that it is hurtful. That thing is only hurtful to you. That thing is only demeaning because you accepted that it is demeaning. If someone comes and say, "Oh, you fat girl," I'm not a fat girl, so it doesn't have any effect on me. But if they go and say that to someone that's probably bigger than me, that person might take it as an insult. That person accepts it as something demeaning, so they take offense in that. So the truth is that you cannot be offended, you cannot get pissed off, and someone cannot make you angry without your consent, without you accepting it. So yeah, there's like this topic is so broad because there's so much to consider, there's so much to talk about, there's so much to go over. But generally, everything starts and ends in our mind. Like, if you change your mindset, you change your life, honestly. Like, if you change the way you see things, if you change the way you understand things, if you change the way you process things, if you change the way you accept things, you change your life. Sometimes you don't need anything. You don't need a new house. You don't need new friends. You don't need a new church. You don't need a new spouse. You don't need to start a new business. You don't need a new career. You just need to change your mindset. You need to change the way you look at things. You need to change the way you understand things. The business that you have that you think it's not working, that business is working. It's you that is not working. Okay, that business is doing well. It's you that can't see it because of your mindset. It's you that can't see it because of your approach. Which is why I advise people read books, listen to tapes, like just do things outside, listen to new ideas, listen to new ways of doing things. Because by the time you get exposed to new things, you might learn and you might understand that the way you have been doing things is not exactly the right way. The way you have been doing things is not the only way to do a certain thing. So allow yourself to be exposed. Allow yourself to unlearn and relearn. Allow yourself to change. And this is especially for those that have gone through some form of trauma, for those that have gone through a rough childhood, for those that did not grow up in love. Most sometimes you cannot give what you don't have. So if you grew up in a place that was lacking of love, you may not have any love within you to give. right? But allow yourself to experience new things. Allow yourself to get exposed. Allow yourself to unlearn what you know. And as you get older, you know what is right, you know what is bad. Sometimes you just choose to stay in what is wrong because it is more convenient for us. We choose to stay in ways that are not beneficial because it is more convenient. Change requires effort. Change brings discomfort. And sometimes it is that discomfort that we are avoiding. That discomfort that we don't want it. Okay, we don't want our old friends to leave us. We don't want to change our patterns. We don't want to have to accept that the way we have been doing things is not right and we need to start doing things the right way. We don't want to leave our comfort zone because that's what we are used to. That's what's very convenient for us. But you cannot grow in that place. Even if you grow, you will not grow as much as you need to. Like you will only grow to a certain height. Meanwhile, you should have been here. Oh. But because you want to be too comfortable, you want to be convenient, you will remain here. So sometimes allow yourself to come out of your shell. Allow yourself to let go of your old patterns. The more you grow in life, the more your old patterns no longer serve you. They served you when you were smaller, but now you are growing, you are expanding, you are becoming bigger. So you need new patterns that will serve the bigger you, the new you. The more you cage yourself, the more you stay in the same spot. And you're wondering, why don't I have more money than I used to have? Okay, why haven't I grown past the stage? It is because of your habits. It's because of your patterns. It's because of your mindset. You don't want to do things outside of your comfort zone. You don't want to be uncomfortable for a while. Because that's it. In the time where you are changing from your old self to your new self, that middle path is actually quite uncomfortable before you settle into your new self. You must let yourself go through that uncomfortable space. You must let yourself go through that tough time because that is the time where you are being changed, you are being transformed, you are being refined. It's the same way there's something they say that, oh, gold must go through fire for it to become gold or something like that. It's true. You have to go through that fire for it to come out better. So especially if you've had some sort of childhood trauma or anything like that, you must unlearn those things that you have learned. Like I said earlier, as an adult, you know what is good, you know what is bad, you know what is right from what is wrong. Allow yourself to do the right thing. Allow yourself to go on the right path. It doesn't matter if your friends will no longer speak to you. Again, salvation is individual. And on the last day, everybody will stand and answer to God individually. Nobody is going to answer to God on your behalf. It's just you and your God. It is you and your spirit man at the end of the day. So allow yourself to walk in purpose. Allow yourself become who God has destined you to be. Allow yourself become. Allow yourself to fulfill destiny. Sometimes we are the ones holding ourselves back. We feel like, oh, we have some enemy somewhere. There's no enemy anywhere. Oh. It is you that is the enemy of yourself because you have not allowed yourself to become. Sometimes you don't need to pray against any spirit or power. What we need to pray is for wisdom. We need to pray for wisdom. We need to pray for understanding. We need to pray for the grace to be patient. We need to pray for the grace to persevere. Those are sometimes are the things that we need to pray for. Wisdom, understanding, very key. If you have wisdom, hey, sometimes I feel like people don't understand what wisdom is. Sometimes I feel that way. Because if you have wisdom, like what is money? If you have wisdom, you will understand what you need to do in order to earn money. You will understand the ideas you need to work on at a particular time. You will understand where you need to go at a particular time. You will understand what you need to invest in at a particular time. You will understand time. You will understand season. You would know what you need to do, where you need to go. If you have wisdom, you almost have everything. That's the truth. Very few things are greater than wisdom. Forget money. If you have wisdom, wisdom will teach you what you need to do to make money at a particular time. So when we pray, I feel like we need to pray for wisdom. Okay, wisdom will tell you how to deal with people in every season. Wisdom will tell you how to deal with your staff, how to deal with people that offend you. Wisdom will tell you when you wake up in the morning, okay, don't do this because it will not be beneficial. Do this instead. Wisdom tells you where to go at a particular time. Okay, so I feel like this live has gone on for like a while and I've said a lot of valuable things. I don't think I cannot say everything on one live, right? But I just feel like someone needed to hear this. In fact, I was not even prepared to come on live and say all of these things that I said. You can see, like, I'm even like trying to rush my words so I can be able to say everything, right? I was not even prepared to. I just came on live in a hurry because something is telling me that someone needs to hear this. Okay, someone needs to listen to you at this particular moment. That's why I'm here. I'm not saying this just for myself. And like I said, when I share certain things, I also share my experience. I know that there are people that have not experienced the things that I have experienced. Okay, there have been books, there have been teachings, there have been videos that have helped me in my lowly moments. So I also feel like my video can also help somebody. So I would be selfish if I don't share what needs to be shared. Okay, so forget how I look. Like just listen to the words. Okay, just listen to what I have to say. And if you have any question, any contribution, you can always leave a comment, and I will definitely respond. It's always a pleasure to come on live and speak to everyone. It's always a pleasure to share what I know, to share my wisdom, and it's always a pleasure. And like I said, I said this before, even though I don't have like a very large audience, I believe that sometimes in certain seasons the message is just for one person, right? The message is just for two people. So if two people see your message and their lives are changed, their lives are transformed, then you have done a great thing. Like you have done what you were supposed to do. You have fulfilled a certain purpose. Sometimes people want to make a certain decision and they are indecisive. So they just need that particular, they just need one sentence. Sometimes they just need one word that will tell them go, that will tell them do that thing. I know there are a lot of things that I say, and so when I want to say something, I say, "Oh, I said this before." It's because I've actually said it before. That it is important to listen to your spirit, man. It is important to listen to your instincts. It is important to do what your mind tells you to do at a particular time, because there's definitely a reason for that. You may not understand why, you may not know why, but go ahead and do the things that your mind is telling you to do at a particular time. I believe that later on you would find out the reason. Okay, you don't want to now find out the reason and regret that you didn't do what you needed to do at a particular time. So if your mind is telling you to do something, it is so very important that we are in tune with our spirit, man. It is so very important that we speak to God and we are patient enough to hear back from Him. It is so very important that we understand the time and season of our life. It is so very important that we understand purpose. Okay, so thank you so much for joining the live, and I would see you on my live some other time. Bye.